video of trigonometric ratios. So in our last video we left it on SOH CAH TOA. Those who are new, for them, trigonometric ratios are the ratios which help us finding the missing angle and side in a right angle triangle. Okay, so there are three different types of ratios which are known as sine, cosine, and tan, and we will discuss now their formula. So if you remember SOH CAH TOA, you will remember all the three trigonometric ratios, and let's see how. So S stands for sine ratio, so we can just call it sine, the short form. C stands for cosine, we can call it cos, and T stands for tangent, we can call it tan. Okay, now you can see after S you have O and H. You remember in the last video we learned how to identify the hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. If you haven't seen, you can see the last video from the link there. Okay, so O stands for opposite, so sine is equal to opposite over H stands for hypotenuse. Cos stands for, A stands for adjacent, cos is equal to adjacent over H, H stands for hypotenuse, and tan is equal to O over A, O and A, O stands for opposite, over A stands for adjacent. So this is how it works. So sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse, CAH, cos is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse, and TOA, tan is equal to opposite over adjacent, opposite over adjacent. This is how it works. Now let's go for some example. Let's find the missing side by using all three ratios, and we'll see how it works. As you can see here, there are three different examples, and on the top I always write SOH CAH TOA so I can identify which ratio to use in which triangle. Let's move to the first one. That's the angle we need. That's the angle we are using in our triangle. Okay, and let's see what are the two sides given to you. So first of all, we are dealing with hypotenuse, which is opposite to the right angle, and the side which is next to the angle is adjacent. So we are dealing with hypotenuse and adjacent. Let's go to the ratios, SOH CAH TOA, and see which one is using A and H. This one is using O and H, no. This one is using O and A, so no. This one is using A and H, yes. So we will use CAH or cos or cosine. So the formula for cos is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. Now the angle is 37, so you will write that angle with cos, so it's cos bracket. Once you will click this in your calculator, it will come with a bracket. Okay, 37 in it equals adjacent is 11 over hypotenuse is x. We don't know. Now when you don't know the denominator, there is an easy way to solve it. We will do the cross multiplication and everything to make x the subject of the formula. So what you will, in the end, what you will do is you will swap x with the trigonometric ratio. So it will end up being x is equal to 11 over cos 37. Okay, so when you write this in your calculator, scientific calculators, 11 over cos 37, you will get that x is equal to 13.7734 and so many values, which we usually round to three significant figures. So 1, 2, 3, and line. After 7 we have a 7, so round up. So x will be 13.8. Okay, this is how we solve for missing side. Let's do two more examples. Let's do the second one. Okay, so in the second example, we have this angle. We are using this angle. So let's see what sides are given to us. First of all, the side opposite to your angle is given to you. That's opposite. And the side next, that's adjacent. This is hypotenuse, which is not given to us, so we don't need it. We will not. So O and A, let's see which one is using O and A. So O and H with the first one, no. O and A with T, with TOA. Okay, so we are using tangent or tan. So let's write it. So tan is opposite over adjacent. So our angle is 32, so tan 32 is opposite, which is x. Adjacent is 13. Now in this case, when you don't know the numerator, but you know the denominator, in this case, how it works, like usual, we solve in usual algebraic equations. Let's say like x over 5 equals 15. So to remove this 5, we do the opposite. Times 5 on both sides. 5 cancels. So x is 15 times 5. Same way it will happen here. 13 will cancel from here and will multiply on the other side. So you will end up being that 11 is equal to 13 tan 32. Or you can write 13 times tan 32 or 13 tan 32. Both ways you will get the same answer. So 13 tan 32 will give you 8.12333015. We will round it to 3 significant figures. So here, so 2 will round down, will stay 2. So x is 8.12. Let's solve the last question. So in the last question, this is our angle we are using, okay, and we are dealing with opposite and we are dealing with hypotenuse. Never call hypotenuse adjacent, because hypotenuse is always opposite to the right angle, so you can't call it adjacent. This side is adjacent, okay. So we are dealing with hypotenuse and opposite. So O and H. I think this time we are using the first one. So stands for sine. Sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So sine, the angle is 57, is equal to opposite, which is 10.8, over hypotenuse is x. Like the first question, you remember, when you don't know the denominator, you swap with the trigonometric ratio. You will do the same thing here. You will swap with this one. So x will be 10.8 over sine 57. When you write this in your calculators, you will get x is equal to 12.877523. We usually round it to 3 significant figures. So 1, 2, 3, 8. After 8 we have a 7. It's round up. So x will be 12.9. Okay. So if they will show you centimeter here, you will say centimeter in the answer. If they say meters, you will write meters in the answer. It depends. This is how we find missing side using trigonometric ratios. In our next video, we'll try to figure out how to find the missing angle using trigonometric ratios. I hope this video is of help to you, and share and subscribe to support. Have a nice day.